Hey everybody, I'm Cafe Kaz, and welcome to the 6th ever Rengar's Roundtable podcast. Now, this podcast is going to be a little bit different. We're going to be talking about a lot of topics here today. I am joined by new and old faces, and let me start out by just saying, hey, if you're a designer for logos, let me know. As you can see, that Rengar's Roundtable up there, it's looking kind of scuffed. Email me, cafecosma@gmail.com. If you're a designer, I will commission you to get an actual good logo there so we can look kind of professional, maybe.
That would be super pog.
But with that out of the way, I'll let everybody go ahead and introduce themselves. Shogun, if you want to take it away.
Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm Shotgun Shogun. You may know me from Rengar's Roundtable number 5, number 4, number 3, number 2, and the number 1. I have been on a 6 Rengar's Roundtable streak now, trying not to break it. Doing pretty good so far, but you may know me from YouTube videos such as Damaged by the Numbers. Hey, this new character, I want to punch him in the face, but his kit is super nutty, and other videos that I put out 17 times a day. Yeah, you guys know me by now.
That was a pretty good introduction, I'm not gonna lie.
Scripted.
See, I told you, off the cuff stuff, man. You gotta come up with it. People love that stuff.
Natural, dude. Hey, xSkyking.
What's up, guys? xSkyking here. You guys probably know me from Twitch streams, just chill Twitch streams where we int and sprint. We brick people's accounts and scuff testing, that kind of stuff. But yeah, glad to be back again. Fun to talk with friends.
Yeah, welcome back, dude. And we've actually got a new face here, new to Twitch, not new to the RTA ladder at all, but Mevlin, new affiliate here on Twitch.tv. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Hey guys, my name is Mevlin. I just started streaming a couple days ago. I've been playing Epic 7 for quite a while. Yeah, I guess that's it.
I like it says new face, but we can't see his face.
Yeah.
Maybe with those affiliate bucks, he can get himself a webcam.
I do have a webcam coming up. It's
okay
in the process.
Yeah.
Right.
Corona, cameras, shipping, It's hard. Very, very difficult.
Understandable.
But, I thought it'd be cool. I know Mevlin. I've known Mevlin for a long time. I met him on the ladder, actually. He's a Blaze Dingo master. I was assuming that he would oversell himself. Said that he has the best Blaze Dingo on the server and that he will cleave anyone in existence. Yeah. It's pretty fire.
Yeah. But, no, Mevlin is always somebody that whenever I talk about interesting people in the ladder, right? Because every time you go in the ladder, it's like you're like, oh, have I fought this dude before? Oh, they picked FCC Rylet Ruel. I bet I've never fought this guy before. Oh, they first picked Falconeer Clury. I bet never. Have I ever fought this dude? No, when you fight Mevlin, it's like, oh, hey. I always tell people that the first time I ran into Mevlin, I got Lilius cleaved. And then afterwards, I started banning his Lilius. But then his ML Ken was super crazy fast and hit really hard. I'm like, yo, I hate this dude. And then I would ban that. And then he'd be like, oh, here's Blaze Dingo. And I'm like, yo, what the actual hell? Why do you have all these units that nobody drafts? I don't know how to play against this stuff. So it's always people who draft like that kind of stand out, and you can you get to know them, right?
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
I mean, it's good to be something different. I think just enjoy the game the way you want it,
Mm-hmm. Now with that out of the way, I want to jump right into the first topic. Obviously, we start out with something a little bit casual. I know that you all have seen it, and if you haven't seen it, you need to. Model Luluca is confirmed, not Cigarette, which is weird. I thought we were getting
speed boots on today.
I do have my speed boots on today. Hey, but I thought we were gonna get ML Cigarette. We didn't get ML Cigarette. We've got Luluca.
I don't understand why everybody thought that ML Cigarette's next. I mean, I know everybody wanted ML Cigarette next, but like, at what point were they like, yo, we're gonna put out Crow, then we're gonna put out ML Cigarette, because that is just the order that it's going to go in. I think that the other thing too is that with ML Luluca, right, this is going to potentially give them that opportunity to take us into alternate world. You know what though? I see this. I see the question. Thoughts on ML Luluca? I don't care about ML Luluca. I want to know about
What?
top designer Straws. Top
True.
designer Straws
True.
confirmed. I know a certain person out there that's going to be coming back to E7 just to talk about top designer Straze. Confirmed, boys. Make sure you save those bookmarks. That's the only thing that matters. It's the only thing that matters, boy. Also, top model Rowana. When this is the timeline that I want to be in. I don't even care about Wintenberg, Pilotia, this dumb kid I want to punch in the face, even though his kit's nutty. I want the fashion show, top model Rowana. Give me that top model. Give me that top designer. I want to know the entirety of that world. Strauss blew up his entire world for design choices. It's the best timeline.
That's what's
literally
crazy.
The best timeline.
Wait. At what point do you need to destroy your entire planet to further your design choices?
Maybe you just don't understand fashion, Kaz.
True, you're right.
I feel like they need an entire new game just for that entire universe. I want to know everything about that universe.
Yeah, I mean,
Right?
I'd be down.
Right? 100%. I mean, although to be completely honest, I think that her kit is absolutely nutty. The more I think about it, the more that I think her with Dignus Orb is going to be busted.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's a Kali, but with like extinction and attack, self-attack, and stealth, and a double up on the S1 that you can just soul burn. I'm like, this is, and people are like, this unit looks underwhelming. And I'm like, in what world does this unit look underwhelming to you?
Yeah,
even if her modifiers are kind of doo-doo, I still think she'll be really, really good.
Well,
I mean, she's like a rose with extension and stealth. Like what?
Yeah.
What do you need? What else do you need?
Well, here's the crazy thing too, right? Is that like, at what point would the modifiers have to be that bad that a self-attack buff unit cannot kill an Arbiter Vildred, right?
Right? Exactly. I mean, unless it's like a code Arbiter Vildred or something with like 35k hit points and like 2k defense, but also somehow 3k attack. And then you're not going to run into too many of those. But no, I think that she's crazy good, dude.
Yeah, Sky.
I think she's balanced too as well, just because you can still outspeed her. Like she's there's certain stats that she doesn't ignore.
Mm-hmm.
So even she's not completely broken, but at the same time she's really, really strong.
Maybe I'm the only one here then that doesn't think she's too impressive.
Sorry. Hey, what's your take? Hey, I'm a Luluca simp. I'm a Luluca simp, all right? I think I pitied for the original Luluca, right? Hey, she my waifu. I use her in all the raid. This her ML. Obviously, I'm gonna be hyped, but sure. What do you think about her?
I'll be honest, 100% honest. I woke up because I'm trying to fix my sleeping schedule. I woke up, didn't know anything. I see messages. Emily Luca. I only saw her like a few hours ago. I'm like, trying to still process. But to me, yeah, you're right. She's like an A Coley. But so let's say in a bruiser team comp or against tanky enemies, let's say they don't have AoE. I'm not sure when I would take her over Spectre. So that's A for me. Spectre, I think, is still stronger than her in the aspect of being able to kill tanky units while staying alive. So if you take her, like, you can take her against, like, I guess squishy people with the extinction, but for me personally, I guess I found her a little underwhelming. She's not the fastest unit, but you would use her as, like, I guess you would be using her in a pseudo cleave, but in that situation, I feel like there are better units in that situation for that then.
So here's my thing, right? Is that if you're fighting like a Ruel comp or whatever, you're like, let's say like Ruel Crow, right? Inside of her kit, not only does she have extinction, which is powerful. When used at the right time, you can kill even those tankier units. You might have to wait till like second turn or something, to actually collect the kill, unless you have like some kind of defense break set up. What I think is really, really powerful, though, is her skill 1, ignoring Aureus.
Yep.
Right? So
true.
You not only get through potentially SSB, we all know SSB's OP and she'll just bat back at you anyway, so wait, I won't mention her, all right?
Does this mean that she's an SSB counter? I hate this game.
No,
I hate this game.
no, come on.
It's an SSB counter. I'm not pulling for another SSB counter.
But she stops Tempest Surin, okay, because she attacks twice on the skill 1, and it ignores Aureus. So what a lot of people do is they'll bring an Aureus holder with Tempest Surin, and then it takes more than 2 hits to kill her, right?
Yeah.
Because, like, the damage reduction happens and then the transfer or whatever. But, like, she cuts through that, guaranteed. She has stealth to kind of hide behind. So I feel like it can be really strong. And where, like, Spectre Tenebria kind of falters a little bit is, 1, you don't get the 50% damage reduction that you get from stealth, that you get from Model Luluca, right? Because she's just hidden. And then 2, well, I mean, she doesn't have extinction. And then 3, you can't ignore that Aureus. So if you are fighting like a Tempest Surin or something like that, if you soul burn extra turn, Tempest Surin will hide away from you before you can do anything. Which is the problem, right? And I don't like Tempest Surin. She's annoying. Obnoxious unit.
Yeah, I also think too that even if maybe she's not the best in a certain situation where you could bring, a Spectenny or an Akali or something like that, it's just another thing to deepen your roster, right? That's one of the things that I really like about a lot of the units that come out. Not only that, but I think that she has one of the like both of the units that were announced today have very interesting kits. Like very new, not new, fresh kits, but I mean, they're still really kind of interesting and allow you to do other things. Like Kaz was saying, extinction is very big. And as you notice, there's some extinction that came out today. And I think that will definitely help out. And like Kaz was saying, you can be fast and just pop an RB. If you take a Spectenny in against an RB, you're probably going to have a bad time. I mean, you can soul burn for the extra turn, but depending on whether or not you hit that Dream Blade, you can be in some trouble. But Dignus Orb into that.
Well, too, the other problem, I don't know if I want to jump to it this fast. It's going to be a topic that we're going to talk about later.
Okay.
But you could also just not land the stun if you don't kill.
Yeah.
Right? That's happened to me a lot.
Yeah.
Right.
But I do think that she is she's definitely very interesting. You could probably run her on Oath Key too, just in case you're worried about those meme blade RBs.
Oh yeah, Oath Key would be interesting, actually.
Yeah.
I'll probably run Dignus Orb on mine. For the barrier stealth interaction is really, really nice. If you don't take damage, you can't get knocked. But
not only that, plus the extra damage that you get right afterwards, it's going to be huge. Right.
Well.
Have you guys thought about building her just like speed, like a AoE A-lots basically?
Are you saying like no damage, but yeah.
A little bit of damage, but like just using her as mostly for like super speed and just CR push everyone with attack buff. Because she's also a mage, she can also carry book. That's another option I'm thinking about, but her damage is actually going to be good, I think.
I feel like that would work because I know you use Fire Tenebria for like your book holder. Exactly. I wouldn't personally do that just because I'm an Athletica junkie, right? I spam Athletica and my whole guild spams Water Rose, so I'd probably build one of those. Or actually now, Homeboy's using Judith as his CR.
Dude.
Oh yeah, that's true.
After White rocked it with that level 40 Judith, man. Judith is nutty.
She only gives attack buff to herself, if I remember correctly, right?
For Model Luluca?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, it's only the caster. It's not AoE. It's not team.
Yeah, it's only the caster. So it's not the same. It's not like better Water Rose, which would be insane.
Okay.
Dude, Taga Hell's Water Rose would be nutty.
Yeah.
Honestly, they should buff her and give her AoE attack buff as well.
Sorry, what?
Hey, I'm just saying. Also, wait, hold on. Let me talk about one more thing first, and then I'll jump onto the next topic. Yo, I see so many transitions that I could do. But also, I think Ervalin. So, what do y'all think about Ervalin? I know Shogun thinks he's insane. Okay? Do y'all two have any opinions about Ervalin? Is that how you say it?
It's okay. I don't know how to use him, actually. I'm curious how Shogun's going to use him.
XSkyking, any opinions about Erval?
I don't have too much opinions aside from the fact that I don't really like how he looks, but
yeah, I don't know why.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm not.
He's the only unit with counter buff, right? That's not a fodder.
No. Kiki Rot.
Okay, Kiki Rat is useless. I swear to God, I got baited by him before. Not impressed by that unit. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know how to use. I'm not too sure about Ervelen yet because seems a little strange to me, to be honest.
Yeah, I think he's garbage, honestly.
I mean, I don't know. I think that his kit is really, really interesting. I think that the damage, I want to see the modifiers, really. That's really what I want to see is the modifiers of like, because I mean, okay, in the video, which I hate that initially, like everybody's like, oh, look at this damage in the video, because you can't ever tell like what gear they're using, what are their stat lines in the videos. Somebody's like, oh well, he only did like 22k to a def broken Ruel, and I'm like, well, okay, yeah, I get that, but at the same time I think he also did a ton of damage to the FCC immediately afterwards, and like clapped that. I'd have to go back and watch it, but I mean, obviously tomorrow we'll know the modifiers after everything's in the calculator, and that's kind of what I'm interested in. I know people are like, well, he doesn't have any initial survivability, doesn't have like the dodge that everybody else has, and I'm like, well, yeah, but Green Violet really doesn't have that, so you kind of got to blow him up immediately, or you do get that cool shield, the counterattack. Look, man, it's a cool ass gimmick.
Well, hey.
And it's the only thing he's got going for him other than his punchable face.
So my problem with him is that, one, yes, I looked at that damage and it was like laughable, because, and the only reason it was laughable, well, I do agree that we don't know the full unit stat lines. I was looking at the frames and it's about an 18.6k HP Ruel or something like that. That was defense broken with attack buff though. They were Tamisaria-ing.
Yeah.
Right? So then it was just kind of like, what kind of insane, monstrous damage stat lines does this thing have that it, like, it killed, but only at 22k? Like, because it's slow, right? Because they had to boost him up to actually bring him forward to kill the Ruel. So it was very, very, very peculiar, because unlike Model Luluca, he doesn't give himself attack buff. And you're not skill 1ing into, RNL skill 3. You could do that, honestly. That might be
I feel like his kit is made to like counter like the tanky meta, because all of his skills skill off of like enemies. If his HP is lower than the enemy's HP kind of thing. But then
the max HP
thing. The max HP thing, which is new, I guess.
Well, but here's what was weird to me is that he has such high base HP. He has like 6.3k HP and like no defense.
Yeah.
His stat line counters himself.
Yeah, it's
a little bit. Yeah, you're right. Because,
I'm curious about the multipliers, like what the difference is, like where your like the optimal build will be, like how much HP you should have, like bruiser wise or whatnot. And then also depending on, like maybe the build on the video is just like no crit damage and like 0 crit damage. I don't know, man.
Yeah, he's like 2,500 attack, 150 crit damage. It's actually in like 71 free gear. They're like, yeah, man, this is the play. But I mean, you're right though that his kit kind of counters himself, because I was thinking about it and I'm like, people are like, well, I'm just gonna blow him up. That's what I'm gonna do. He's gonna have like no hit points and then he's just gonna die. And I'm like, we just do the same thing you do with everybody who needs to live. Just make him a tanky bruiser. Then I'm like, wait, then he's not gonna it's not gonna do anything. That kind of counters that. So unless you are going up against the thickest of tanks, there's not really going to be too much there. So it'll be interesting. I do think that his kit in general is interesting to me, and I like that. It's a new thing. It's the first 5-star that we've gotten with that mean ass counterattack thing, and I want to steal it with ML Rin. There's nothing I want more in life than to steal that buff with ML Rin. As it is, when I see somebody who's like, yo, I'm picking Rylet, I'm like, I'm gonna steal that evasion. I got a 50% chance maybe to steal that evasion. Chaddest of Chad moves. There goes your whole gimmick, friend. But unfortunately, he's going to suffer from the needs to be plus 15. He's going to be compared to literally everything else damage-wise. He's green.
Cool. Which means he's going to get crit by SSB.
Which means he's going to get crit by SSB.
Ravi buff.
Yeah. Ravi buff. I mean, it's all Ravi now. Who even cares about this green kid?
Yeah. Honestly, the sad thing is, too, about his stat line is that you could have built him Bruiser, like defense, like 1-800 defense, like my boy Code, had he had, like, a useful defense stat. But instead, they just, like, gave him HP, and I was just like, you can't bruise, which means you can't counter because they'll kill you.
Yeah.
That going out of the way, I go on to question number 2, which is a little bit less spicy, more opinionated. Okay, now we saw buffs and nerfs coming out. We're all hyped for Ravi. She's going to be amazing. Apparently, they're buffing Landy, which Mashu made sure not to fully confirm, but he said maybe we'll get it. We're in the talks for November, kind of, but we might not. Okay, so with that being said, what units do you think are too weak / strong, and how would you fix them? You can maybe give one of each if you have any strong opinions about units that are out right now.
Nerf ML Tywin.
Wait. I just pulled the guy. Let me use him for a little bit. Calm down. Calm down.
No, I mean, for me, it's I completely agree that just nerfing ML Tywin to 20 souls instead of 10 souls would make him perfectly balanced. Like that would be perf. I don't think there's too many units right now that are like too oppressively strong. There's a couple that are borderline, just because I don't have really good answers to them, or they pick it before me, and my whole play style is very detrimental when somebody picks ML Crow against me, because I'm like, yo, I'm gonna bring Fire Charlotte and SSB and Dizzy and Hufine. This will work out real well for me. Although ML Rin counters him real hard by just keeping him completely bonked and locked down nonstop. But I mean, in terms of buffs, haste. I would say ML Leo. My Ruel just fell over. She got killed by that kid. 22k just hit my standy back there. I mean, ML Leo probably never gonna be good. Rip. F in the chat for ML Leo.
Tragedy.
There's always a chance.
I mean, maybe he'll get the ML Tywin treatment one day. He'll become meta, and all the people who were like, you know what, I'm gonna just commit to ML Leo. They'll be laughing when they pull out their plus 15 ML Leo, and everyone else will jump on it like original Fire Corvus.
True, actually, Fire Corvus was actually insane after that.
Yeah,
so
he was.
Yo, Mevlin, just to give you a chance, do you have any units in mind?
I mean, I've always had trouble with Teaser, and her kit just completely counters me, so I'm kind of biased in saying that I want her nerfed. But I feel like the fact that shields and damage sharing mechanics work really weird with her is the problem. I think her kit on paper is fine. Having to hit her twice is okay, but having to hit her 3 times, that's way too much in my opinion, considering like she has all the other stuff in her kit.
Actually, that would be an interesting nerf to her, basically, so you can't cheese the mechanic by adding additional fake HP to her.
I wouldn't even say it's a nerf. I think it's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah,
it's more like a fix, really.
I think like with T-Crow Z, it takes you like 4 hits to kill a Tempest Cern or stuff like that without a shield.
That's the thing. Like, that's way too much, considering her kit is just like, she also cleanses herself. She's pretty much an RB without any of the RB counters right now.
I mean, yeah, because how I deal with her is I have to use like FCC SSB Fire Charlotte in order to deal with her, and that's really the only way, or ML Corral, which I just named 2 ML5, so it's kind of weird, right? Like,
I'm a little bit biased because I don't have a proper answer to her, so
fair. She can be pretty difficult to deal with. I can agree.
Yeah,
she's difficult for me.
I think having like Vivian or other immunity answers to her like unbuffable silence is really, really good, and then bulky teams, but I mean, not everybody wants to play bulky like that. But is there anybody
Buffs
that
wise.
You said what?
Buffs wise?
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but I feel like our girl May Chloe has been shafted.
Yes, yes. Oh my god, it hurts so much.
Luluca. Was the green unit Glenn or Ian? I forgot his name.
Glenn.
Like,
yeah.
You're telling me a 3-star is going to shaft made Chloe even harder now? Oh God.
Self-buff, greater attack, extra turn, extinction. Yeah,
dude, that 3-star is crazy, dude.
I read that. I'm like, rip some of the revivers, but at the same time, rip made Chloe even harder. Like, she already feels weak to me.
There was somebody who came into the last podcast and was like, "Yo, buff made Chloe," and he was saying like, give her heal on hit or something like that. How would you buff her? Because I don't feel like that would do anything, right? Because like you put Tetra Reckless Water's Origin on her, it doesn't really do anything. Doesn't solve the problem. Doesn't solve ML haste, ending your entire existence. Okay, or like all the strip and unbuffable and everything like that.
The worst part here, I feel like, is her skill 3. It gives the revive buff, right? Yeah. So you can't buff that mechanic. Otherwise, units like Rowana is gonna get buffed. Like anyone else with that revive buff mechanic also gets buffed, right? So either they have to give her a new skill, or they change the passive up. Okay, there's no way you're gonna set it.
I had a crazy idea. What if you put Vile on the passive?
Yeah, so like you change the passive up to not just, maybe the heal is not crazy. Like it gives a bit of healing, but yeah, putting a vial or something, helping your team like not really be self-sufficient, but like to like sustain more, to keep your team alive more. But like the biggest issue is still that her revive buff, like either she gets stripped or it doesn't, they're gonna die right away when they come back, and you still need a good turn order for that. I feel like the skill 3 is still a really big issue with how she works, unfortunately, now with the meta and how the game works. So like
I kind of want some CR push in her S3 because it's really hard.
How much CR push though, right?
Yeah, that's the question. Like it's really hard to like sometimes I don't even revive with May Chloe just because the units are either like way too behind and like she doesn't like res with any health at all. They just die immediately.
Actually,
I have a suggestion.
Yeah, sure.
What if they gave her a passive that at the end of her turn, it increased the combat readiness of an ally except for the caster with the highest attack by 15% and dispelled 1 debuff from an ally? What if that was also in the passive?
Where are you reading that from?
That's one of the new 3 stars.
Wait, actually,
that's the dark 3-star Soul Weaver.
I was about to say that sounds great. Wait, hold on, that's crazy.
It is. The 3 stars are insane, dude.
I was like, wait, that'd be so good. Wait, hold on, that'd be amazing. And then I was like,
that'd be amazing. It's like you're reading that off of a patch note or something like that.
Huh. Which one was that one again?
That's Anos, Inos, whatever. The 3-star dark heat one.
That's not what I call her, but I see.
Yeah. Combat readiness by 15% and built-in potion vial after every turn. Not only that, but she also increases speed and attack of everybody on the team with her S3.
So I feel like that passive would be beautiful on Maid Chloe or CR Push, because I know that the people that use Maid Chloe right now, like I think I saw Kurai in the chat, he combos with her, right? So you give attack buff and then you combo. And the hardest part about comboing your units is that you have to put CR gaps in between. Right? So having something to push them up brings everybody forward to the point that they can actually do something, right? So it's kind of like difficult. You know,
I'd like to see Kurai with a CR pushing Maid Chloe.
Yeah, because one of the problems with Kurai is that, honestly, no hate to Kurai, but you just outspeed him.
Yep.
All his units are slow. If one,
Bad.
if like because they're it's so slow. If there's one unit that like hits in between, he just loses instantaneously, right? I know it sounds Papega just outspeed him forehead, but like that's what you do. That's why you just outspeed him.
Kaz actually toxic over here.
Yeah. Correct.
Just outspeed the
guy.
Easy games, dude. This is going to YouTube, man. Everyone's gonna see this, and now they know how to beat Karai.
I mean, just saying, you don't need immunity sets if you just outspeed him, Kaz.
True.
That's why I'm back in Wyvern 13.
No, come on, dude. Hey, I thought you changed after that 24-hour A13 stream, dude. Oh, actually, wait, hold on. I never said my opinion yet of who I want to buff. Buff Briarwitch's area. All right, hey, I have changed a lot. Okay, I was on the train of she's complete garbage, and then I used her for a little bit. And then my chat was like, oh, I thought you said she was garbage. And then you know what happened? I missed all my debuffs, because what happens? I get resisted, or it doesn't even proc. Why is it 85%? They're trying to make her a damage dealer, but she has unbuffable, and that's the good part about her kit. Unbuffable attack down. That's great, right? And you hit people, but then it never hits the Remnant Violets, because you have a double 15%. 15% chance not to even proc, and the 15% chance to resist. Come on, it's why is it not 100%? Would it make her that much stronger?
I mean, Angry is a 5-star. I mean, at the same time, let's make
neutral element.
Let's make a Tywin 100%.
Okay, but that's stun. That's different. Okay, that's stun slow. This is unbuffable. What?
That's true.
Because Basar has strip, unbuffable pushback. That's 3 things, right? All 100%. She has strip, unbuffable attack down. She can still get cut. Why is it not 100%? Because you want to do damage? Who cares? Let me use my utility support. I don't understand why. They build some units, and they're like, okay, well, they can only work this way, because she was designed as a damage dealer, right? So if you use her as a support, then you're shafted, because she can't do her supporting job, because they gave her less debuffs, because she's a damage dealer, and that's dumb. Honestly. That's my only problem. Right? I think it's kind of silly. Yeah, because that's why Tenebria is the way that she is, right? Because, you know that Tenebria gives herself attack buff on her skill 3?
What?
Why?
I used to run Tenebria instead of Emilcan in my Lilith Cleave.
Yeah. I mean, damage dealer. She has great damage mod. She has insane base attack. Because she's built as a damage dealer, so then she innately has to suffer. But then they have characters like ML Araminta who have 100% stun, burns, they're getting buffs,
I'm building her right
more
now.
Burns, unhealable.
I'm gonna need your advice on what sets to put her in, Kaz.
Speed immunity.
Yeah, there you go. exactly. XSkyking does. As for who I would nerf, honestly, it's kind of a toss-up for me, because there are 2 units I really don't like right now. I don't like Remnant Violet, and I don't like Ambitious Tywin. All right, hey.
Hold on. Wait. Did you say you don't like Remnant Violet?
No, it's RNG. All right, hey. I'm tired of evasion.
My Rylet's been broken. He doesn't do.
Just hit Rylet. Easy game.
That's the problem,
He just gets
right?
hit every time.
Dude.
What you got to do is you just have to save up your evasion for the last match of a tournament qualifier,
True.
and then just 1v3 in ML Haste Dark Court of Silencia. Easy. I saved all of my evasions just for that one fight.
You know, I think it's just evasion that's a little bit frustrating to me, because it feels so heavily RNG. And like, I played a match, and I was using a unit, and there was a Tempest Turn on the enemy team. It had Moonlight Dreamblade. It dodged 7 out of the 8 times that I hit it. And then somebody in my chat was like, oh yeah, I don't think you should have used this unit in the fight. I think that you should have brought healers instead. Or like, I was using Landy, I had a stripper or something like that. Like, I think you should have used a Soul Weaver instead of a stripper there. And I was like, my dude, he dodged 7 out of the 8 times that I hit him.
Just hit it though.
What do you do against that? There's no. What's the counterplay? How do you?
No, I'll be honest though, like
4 Oskies.
evasion, if you're running, especially if you fight against, like, let's put in perspective, you fight against like Code's Rylet, who's tanky lifesteal and can dodge. I feel like in that situation, then he's really strong, especially if you're not drafting like a really strong team against him. Then like you can't just run a run-of-the-mill random damage dealer against him, right? Like it becomes very difficult. I can agree there.
Oh yeah, I do remember that Tin Bears. That was way back in the day. There was somebody with like this like Moonlight Dreamblade BBK. I misplayed one of the matches and didn't S3 with LQC because I thought I could kill, and then he Moonlight Dreambladed, and then the next match he just Moonlight Dreambladed a bunch of times again, and I got washed. So it's probably not Remnant Violet that I'm really frustrated with. It's just evasion in general.
Evasion.
Yeah.
Hence the Briar Witch's area buff. Yes. I see.
Then it would be good because then her whole identity is to counter evasion, but they didn't give her enough hit chance to counter Remnant Violet, and they didn't give her 100% debuffs. What's the point?
That's why you just run SC Wanda, dude.
The way I see it, that the way they do it though is like because like she's a neutral element, so she doesn't have the disadvantages of like let's say Basar.
But like Espiara.
With the 100% stun, you mean?
Yeah.
Like sometimes I'll be honest, sometimes I'm a little conflicted about their balance because like some of it feels like the SP armament, the way it leans, like I'm not sure how they like look at when a unit should get 100% and when a unit shouldn't. It feels like it's always mixed, and I haven't found out where they look for like, oh, this unit should have that or shouldn't.
Yeah. Usually, or what I've assumed was something that I mentioned earlier. Sorry for cutting you off earlier. What I had assumed earlier was that 85% is for damage dealers, right? So like Fire Tenebria was a damage dealer, or like Briar Witch's area was a damage dealer. Heck, Tempest does Tempest have 80? She has 85%, I think, as well. And then I think that Arbiter Vildred back in the day had 75% until they buffed him, because you're not supposed to be a damage dealer with 100% debuffs. Now, why did they buff Arbiter Vildred and never change it? I don't know. You trying to
Arby, one of the best control characters in the game.
Dude, that missions is crazy.
True.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's ridiculous. Why is it 2 turns?
Kaz, have you ever tried to build
Is it
like just straight up control?
Yeah, dude.
Have you ever tried to build like control Arby?
No, I have not, dude. Hey, maybe that's my next debut. Control Arby, dude.
I kind of want to now. Like, I want to build Arby, but just like really just dumb, weird builds. Like control Arby, just high, like 175 effectiveness. Super fast, just push back, blind everybody forever.
Yeah, that'd be pretty dope, honestly. JK. Since we were talking about RNG, the frustrations of RNG, I'm going to hit you with the spiciest possible topic, something that I was against until very recently. Should we remove 15% from the game? Hey, let me know.
Oh.
No. From PvE.
Yeah. I'm down with it in PvE. I'm down with it in PvE. Like, let's say Wyvern. Like, personally, to me, I feel like Wyvern, if you're farming Wyvern, yeah, you're farming something there. I don't think there's a need for the 15%. It's like they're like artificial way to like make the game harder.
Yeah.
I feel like, which kind of sucks, I feel like. But
yeah, because Wyvern is literally an RNG check, because you have to land 2 debuffs on a bunch of 15%. It's like,
you don't let it. Oh well, I guess I'm failing this time. Yeah.
But what if they move that 15% for some heroes towards the base percentage of proccing things? Because some heroes really need to hit their debuffs or dispels, like ML Ren. Missing on an ML Ren S3 hurts so much since the entire kit relies on her S3 S2ing, right?
No, just hit that RNL proc.
Well, that's the same thing for Fire Litica as well, right? The reason I keep ungearing Fire Litica is because, have you ever missed the pushback on Fire Litica? It's like one of the worst feelings.
Units that have like really cancerous debuffs like Dizzy, MLR, you could move that 15% on towards their base and change it to 85%. So it's still essentially 15% in the game, except for some characters you need that 100%, in my opinion.
I think the worst part is we can't talk about removing the 15% easily, because if that happens for some characters with the soul burn of ignore effect resistance, that whole soul burn has to change if they get fixed with that 15%, depending on that, right? Because the 15% is for that effect, like is for the resistance.
Well, so here's the thing about that, right? Is that like you build units with high effect resistance. we've reached a metagame where people are finally starting to build units that have 250. I have a 284 resistance angelic Montmorency. And so she's built to resist.
What is saying though is if we move the 15% on the base, like say Basar, even if you soul burn, it's no longer 100%. It's still 85. Is that what Gabe's saying?
But I mean, so then how does that make you mauled less if instead of 100% chance to hit on SBRs, it's 85%, but the 15% inherent resist is gone?
Because you have to. So for me, I guess it's because I use Fire Tenebria, Falconer Clory,
okay, right. But what Mevlin's saying is that you put the 15% on the base. So instead of 100% on Falconer Clory's S3, it's only an 85% chance.
Not for all units.
Not for all units.
Then it becomes, how fast can I make my 100% CR pushback control unit, and it just turns into a speed control meta, which I mean, I know you would love, Kaz, but
I guess here's the thing, right? For me personally, I've been playing a lot of different versions of RTA recently, where I've geared my knights up. I play bruiser, I play control. And I guess the frustrating thing for me, and y'all can tell me if I'm just being a big baby, but I fought Alencias, and I run Mui Broman. I get 15%ed on both of them, okay? And I lose the match. I'll run Falconer Clory, and for 5 games in a row, or it's more like 3 games in a row, she misses the provoke, or misses both, just gets resisted. Yeah. And so, I don't understand how we... And I know, I still love E7, right? I don't understand how we can play a game that's so, I guess, like, the RNG is just in there. It's just fisted in there where you can just lose a match, and then it's essentially asking us that, why don't we all just play 4 Horsemen? Because that has the least amount of RNG, and if you pump enough stats inside of there, you'll eventually muscle through all of the RNG rather than having a diverse amount of playstyles. Now, I know that make control stronger, but the thing is that we have other counters. We have high resist units. We have immunity buffers. You can ban out strippers. Cleave is always really strong against it. Evasion, they don't want to get rid of it. That's always really strong against it. We have the natural hit chances, talking about stuff like Broman's Silence. It's not 100%. You could tweak certain units, but like other units are just unusable. Like no one wants to use Fire Litica if you're just going to miss the skill 3. What's the point? You could win. You could put your best gear on Fire Litica. At 15% of the time, you just lose. For free. You just lose. That's just kind of...
I think the other thing though is like, with that 15% though, right? Like, I guess what you're getting at is like, in that situation, there's like, I guess what Smilegate is trying to do is like, it gives people with gear of less quality a chance to fight back with that 15%, I guess, is what I'm seeing.
I don't mind giving him a chance to fight back, but it's just 15%, they do absolutely nothing. Like, there's no decision making. There's zero.
It hurts the game in that sense, though.
Yeah. Exactly. Like, it should be a skill-based game, not just something that passively happens.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I agree with you that we should remove some of the RNG. That's why I think that removing the innate dual attack chance and then buffing unity sets so that if somebody wants to go off of that, I know literally somebody's going to be like, man, is he still salty about that Sama Gamer loss? No, but I think that pulling a Spectre Tenebria and it hit 2 of the perfect fucking units and just dumpstering your whole, like, you can't fight back against that.
Sure.
I know you have a point. I mean, imagine if all characters have 5% innate counterattack. That would be super cancer.
It would be, right?
I know you run a Unity Falconer Clory. You're trying to buff yourself. I see you, Shogun.
I do like how we're split. Like, we're both split on this topic.
But I mean,
on whether or not you play control. Like, me and Kaz play control. Remove 15%, and you guys don't remove 15%.
I think that if that were the case, you would have to do some sort of small tweak up for effect resist, because it's a lot easier to stack effectiveness to overcompensate for the effect resist. Because if I put 250 effect resist on my Fire Ravi, she's literal garbage. Literal trash.
Yeah, I guess that's the other thing. Like that's the other. If you remove that 15%, right? Like the Bromans, Bazaar, whatever you run for your control comps, right? You don't have to make them tankers and make them go first.
Yeah.
Give them high effectiveness. Whoever you're against, if they can't outspeed you, you're screwed. Literally screwed.
All right. Here's the thing. One, like I said, there's other. It's easier to stack effect resistance than it's to stack effectiveness, and the reason is because the effectiveness units all have to be in a line. Okay, because of speed RNG. Okay, so my stripper's got to be up here. Okay, my secondary stripper's got to be here. My movie's got to be right here. And then my Tenebri and the rest of my debuffer's got to be right here. Okay, so the problem is that if you're a speed guy, and you get right about here, I lose.
Okay, but what if I'm not a speed guy?
And if you're a tank guy and you got Stella Harpa, I also lose. I fought a guy
for timeless anchors.
Yeah. I fought a guy who had what was it, Crimson Seed, Alencia, Wondrous Potion Vial, Ruel, and Stella Harper Rowana.
What?
He was the only guy I couldn't see.
Control.
Yeah, I could not. It's nothing.
I've been abused in the past. Like exclamation point controlled.
Yeah, dude. It was. I don't know. So I guess you're right.
Some of the units with the effectiveness, like Bazaar with the pushback, like if I'm a little afraid of removing the 15% for PvP for certain units because of how oppressive they would be. Like,
the thing is, though, you bring up Bazaar, that would give opportunities for other things like the Hufine pushback, the Broman anti-pushback. But I do agree. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, that caught me real quick, XSkyking.
No, I mean that was just my point. Like I'm a little afraid of that. Granted, like, well, as you said, I don't play control comps.
Okay, here's the thing, right? When you've won on 15%, has it ever made you happy?
Yes, because I won.
I never win.
Well, okay,
I never win with 15%.
Here's my thing. I stream a lot. I play my games constantly. Chat likes to keep me honest. All right? Because they know if I get 15% a bunch of times, I'm gonna be like, I just got 15%ed. Okay? So when I 15% my opponent, it's kind of like, did I really win that? Like the Falconer Clary outsped me. It was 290 speed. It was an Asia server player. His Remnant Violet is like 2 whatever speed is fast enough to follow up and kill me. Okay? And then it's just like resistance.
But are you not happy at the mall?
That just means you have enough resist, or that means his Falconer Clary clearly is trashed here.
Just like it just feels so silly. I'm just like, I guess, right? But I know I have the empathy. I'm like, dude, I would be molding like 5,000 miles away, dude. This guy's like, man, I hate Swornbreaker. He always 15%s me. Man. You know?
Don't worry.
It's just
don't
silly.
Worry, what's it called? I don't know. I mean, okay, I'll be fair. Like, there's a lot of RNG involved that's like that, like dual attacks and like abyssal crowns and stuff. I feel like some I don't know if 15% is bigger of a deal than like, let's say, dual attacks for me. Like, I don't know. I mean, to be fair, like 15% is one of those RNG things in the game that speaking of RNG, yeah, Careless is one of the few people who I know has really good gear, but I've beat him 3 times in a row because of RNG.
Wow, get wrecked, Careless.
So OP. Yeah. Careless garbage confirmed.
Okay, good.
Careless garbage confirmed. Good now.
You know, in this game as well, there's no upper limit. So, God, I don't want to mention this game. There's a game out there that I won't mention this time, but I know that a lot of people have played it before, that in their effectiveness effect resistance game, there's a 15% chance to hit and a 15% chance to get resisted. In this game, there's only a 15% chance to get resisted. There's no 15% chance to get hit, and so that's why when people tell me resistance is weaker than effectiveness, I'm like, but if you're 100 over, you just don't get hit. That's it. You just don't get hit. What do you do?
That's why I've told people before. I'm like, man, effect resist is actually like, they're not like, oh man, look, this piece of gear I got, it rolled like 40 effect resist. I'm like, please give me that piece of gear. I would love that. Yeah. Because I mean, like you said, you know, I bring my 300 effect resist DJ Bazaar, and somebody actually lands a debuff on me, I'm like, oh my god, this guy is insane. Like, I can't believe this guy actually landed that. But most of the time I'm like, yeah, that's what you get. That's what you get.
Dios had an interesting suggestion, and I'm not really against it. The adding in something like an innate 5% effect resistance per 50 ER up to 15%, which would mean that the people who build effect resistance actually get to benefit from that. But then the stuff like Alencia, honestly, it's just Alencia. I can't hit Alencias. I don't know why. Every single time, dude. I swear, I try to strip her, and it's like resistance. How?
And then she yeets you off of the map.
Yeah, dude, it does so much damage.
So don't worry, Kaz. If we ever fight, you'll realize that you'll hit me all day, every day. I got you, bro.
Going back to Shogun's point of like respecting people with high effectiveness, the opposite never happens. If I have high effectiveness hero, and someone effect resists, I don't care who it is. It's just I feel like there's always like it's always lower effect resist. You know, there's no respect for effect resistance.
Yeah,
I think it's so hard to remove because it's one of those aspects in the game that's been ingrained for so long that like if we want to look at removing it from PvP, like PvE is easy to remove in my opinion.
Yeah,
you remove it in PvE, whatever.
Yeah.
But once we get the PvP part right, it's like a major overhaul of the game. Like I think a lot of things are gonna have to change. Then all the other topics come out, right? With all the other RNG aspects, people are gonna talk about everything else. Like I don't think it's something very easily changed anymore. That's the worst part about it. Like I've talked about this before too, and like this, like I feel like it ties everything in together. Unfortunately, which
which is like xSkyking was saying, it's been in the game so long that I mean you would have to overhaul every single soul burn that ignores effect resist, every skill, like take Chloe for example, ignoring effect resist, inherent in PvP. Or in,
he's made Chloe bop.
The one person who runs normal Chloe with magic nail that it bypasses effect resist. You know, and it's kind of like MOAs, right? They've been in so long that Smilegate's probably just like, you know, we could just remove these, but that would be way too much work, and they'll give us a buff that just ignores effect resist for an hour.
I think they're even scared to like nerf heroes. Like they'd be super scared to completely change a mechanic in the game.
Yeah, they can't anymore because of past issues, as we all know.
Yeah, dude, they said they were gonna nerf. They didn't nerf anyone, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, they were like, we gonna nerf.
We're
even
bringing
used
out
the word
the
nerf.
hammer.
They didn't.
We're bringing out the hammer, boys.
They didn't even say adjust. They said nerf. Okay, nerf. I want some nerfs. All right, they ain't give me nothing, dude.
Just a final point. I just think that 15% resist is a very lazy game design decision. Like they could have done something way earlier. I feel like they just gave up and like, oh, we can't really figure out what to do with this. Slap 15%.
True.
It was a quick route for them to give free-to-play or low spenders a way to fight back easily against people who have very, very good gear quality. Otherwise, I think with that, right, I'll be honest, some people are fine with it, other people are not, kind of thing. Like this will be a mixed reaction. But people with super good gear quality will straight up dominate anyone who has lower gear quality than them, right? And you know for a fact, like, great, that's a skill game, but at the same time, that kind of demoralizes anyone else from catching up now. Yeah. Because there is absolutely no chance in that aspect.
Imagine if Crit had 85% max.
Yeah, that'd be crazy. Well, I mean, yeah, that's the thing too, is that like crit, you can overcome it. Like when we meme people that don't have 100% crit rate, it's for a reason. It's because you can overcome that form of RNG. But with debuffs, you can. And so it kind of sucks to be a player who's trying to push a separate, you know, I guess like play style, and then having the game developers try to consistently stop it. It's just kind of hard because like, and they released characters like Remnant Violet, like Holiday Euphine, that were RNG units that were now, we have, when I fight a Holiday Euphine, right? And if I try to Brome in the Holiday Euphine, I have 50% chance to miss. Okay, then I have 15% chance to get resisted on the immunity, and then I have 75% chance to actually land the silence. Okay, and if I land the silence, I have another 15% chance to actually hit to get resisted, right? So when I play Broman, I always miss. Now, I used Holiday Euphine versus my friend Deity, and he always landed silence 3 matches in a row. So it's kind of a toss-up, but it's just it's like such a low probability to actually hit Holiday Euphine that it's almost a counter. But at the same time, sometimes Broman is just like, you know what, I'm just gonna hit today. I feel like hitting.
Yeah.
So I guess that's what frustrates me. But the real reason that I have been frustrated about it, and this can be an over-encompassing topic, we could talk about more than just this for this topic, but I wanted to have at least one time to talk about it because it is something that the entire E7 community is talking about. So I gotta talk about Genshin Impact, all right? And I'm gonna answer this question first. So the question that I put here is there anything you want to see that is in Genshin Impact implemented into Epic 7? Now, every single time I be on my stream, I'm playing an RTA, I get resisted on Falcon or Chloe, I'm like, you know what game doesn't have 15%? Genshin Impact. And then I get on Genshin Impact. Now, the one thing that I think that I want from Genshin Impact is some kind of mode that I can play by myself to progress my account that does not cost energy. Now, I know that that's kind of like a shot inside of the dark, but Genshin Impact, while they do have their resin system, which needs to be updated for farming artifacts and stuff like that, they do have the open world explore function, which I think is very, very nice. When you're out of resources and everything, you can kind of walk around and do something to play the game. Right, and I think having something like that would be very, very nice inside of Epic 7. I don't know how they would implement that, but I think it'd be cool.
I thought that'd be very difficult, to be honest. Yeah, to be honest, the first thing I thought of when you said that was, well, I mean, we've been talking. I mean, I've talked about so much. Is I want some sort of co-op aspect. A boss, you co-op with your guild members or your friends. Literally the same way Genshin does it. And we talked about this before Genshin even came out. You bring one unit, your 3 other friends brings 1 unit, you each control the 1 unit, you fight a boss. At least some sort of co-op aspect. You don't, maybe, it's for cosmetics or something, but something to add a bit of fun into the game to interact with your friends. It doesn't necessarily have to progress your account, but
I thought that was going to be World Boss, and then it wasn't World Boss, and then I thought it was going to be Expedition, and then it wasn't really Expedition. Yep. And so it's kind of
I was so excited for World Boss, and was just immediately disappointed that it's just a CP calculator.
It was a meme.
Yeah. It was kind of hard. I thought, and Shogun, you can inject your opinion on why you have it. So Shogun actually has it, and I don't want to isolate Shogun.
I literally haven't even installed Genshin Impact. I got too much stuff to do, man.
But obviously, and it's been a meme around the, I guess, Epic 7 community, is people be like, I come on to the Epic 7 category, and people be like, wow, the last Epic 7 streamer. And I'm like, well, I saw everybody here. But they say it in every single channel, dude. I don't understand what's going on.
The entire time I did my 24-hour stream, they were like, the last one, we must protect this. We must protect this innocent last flower of the Epic 7 streaming community. I don't know, man. It's just not really my thing. It's a single player PvE game, basically. I do think that co-op would be cool. XSkyking, like you said, when World Boss first came out, right? I thought that World Boss would be that co-op. I had a really good idea with World Boss. It'd be almost like Guild Wars, except it would be, instead of the Guild Wars map, it's you versus the world boss. And then you organize where to hit. Basically, you take out legs, you take out head, you take out stuff like that with your guild. And then you go, okay, these people, they suck. Their gear is garbo. You go take out the left leg while we save all of our big boy attacks for the head. And then depending on how you take it out in order, you could get more rewards. Let's say you go straight for the head. It's got all of its buffs up from all the legs, things like that. And it's hard AF. But you get way more rewards if you take out the super hard mode, right? I was like, dude, that would be insanely cool. Sure, you're not, in real time or whatever, but it's PvE raid style. You would organize stuff. I think that would be awesome as hell.
Are you sure you haven't played the game, which will not be mentioned?
Oh, FW? No,
It has that. It has that.
That's like when I brought that up, somebody's like, "Yo, that's a thing that they did over there," and I'm like, "Oh, well, that sounds cool. I would love that. That would be great. Why don't we just steal that too?" But they didn't. Instead, it's a CP calculator that I have to like slam skip on, and it doesn't let me skip it fast enough to get my not
Yeah, dude. I don't know why the skip is so garbage, dude.
Yeah, the skip is actually. I don't know what happened. You know, everything's usually pretty smooth in the UI, and then you get the world boss is just like, hello.
There was one time where I forgot I wasn't skipping, and I actually watched the entire thing, and at the end of the fight, I was like, why did I do that?
Regrets.
I watched it the first time. It's kind of cool. You know, watching
it's kind of cool.
Play around.
I mean, sometimes if I'm just running it, I don't have anything else going on. I'll just like put it on the other screen, put it up on the big TV. I'm like, wow, this is epic. Sure wish me and my other 29 people in my guild were fighting that dude right there. That guy right there, instead of cycle through who's got the highest CP in this list. Why has somebody got 300k? What is your gear? Go fix your gear. I'm gonna kick you out.
Another thing.
Which one of your characters is ungeared?
Yeah,
I don't know. I feel like it's like it's hard because like I feel like, okay, I'm not gonna lie, Epic 7 in its own rights is still a very good game, and it's hard to compete with Epic 7 right now in its category, because of how good the game is. And if they add some sort of co-op feature, and the thing here is like, when I say co-op feature, I don't want them to give a co-op feature for like progressing your account necessarily. That's why I say cosmetics, because then it's something that some people are not obligated to do. But if other people want to do it for fun, you know, you want to do it for fun, you can, kind of thing.
Well, yeah, the problem with that though becomes these rewards aren't good enough for the 5 minutes that I have to spend in order to do this. This is unacceptable, Smilegate. I expect a ML 5-star selector for me putting in 37 seconds to hit the skip button. This is just garbage. Yeah, no.
True.
Also,
I mean,
isn't there a second map for so like when you go to the world boss screen, there's Sidonia, right? That's empty. Are they adding a second boss? And if they are, what would be the difference?
I don't know. Maybe
it will look different.
Yeah,
it will just look different.
Well, the chaos organization is going to go to Sidonia now, and they're going to summon Straze 3.0, and he's going to be in his designer form this time.
Designer.
Yes, yeah, he's going to be in his and then you're going to have to fight him.
That's exciting.
And you're going to have to throw stale clothing materials at him in order to defeat him.
What's stale clothing materials?
You have to equip your most unorganized sets. You get more points if you have broken sets, so that when he sees it, he's like, this isn't fashion right here. You have a hit set. You have a hit set on a unit that doesn't even have debuffs. What are you even doing? Exactly. And then he just dies.
Yeah. That's the only way to beat him. I equip triple hit set to my Landy, and it defeats him. Pre-buff. Right.
Post buff, she's actually just going to straight ignore all defense. She's going to keep everything that she has. This is actually confirmed. I talked to a guy whose brother actually works with a mailman whose uncle works at Smilegate. Landy's going to ignore all defense on her S3 and her S1, and S2 is going to have Rylot's passive.
Oh my god, that's some crazy buffs, dude. But yeah, I don't know. I've been playing a lot of Genshin though. I just grinded to AR30 last night, and it's been an enjoyable experience. I know it's kind of hard to compare the two, and I think you're right in that Epic 7 is a very, very good game in its category. It is way better than the game that will not be mentioned. It's basically Lord Voldemort at this point. We can't say it. We can't say Lord Voldemort though. But like, for Genshin as such a wider reach, I guess, to a more normative audience, and the crazier thing too is that a lot of support has been given out by the game. Now, I have seen they sponsored a lot of streamers. Not only did they sponsor a lot of big streamers to play the game, they sponsored artists. Like, there's been commissioned art from Genshin for the hype. I keep seeing their Twitch ads. I keep seeing, like they even have cosplayers. I saw like Jean cosplay that was commissioned by MiHoYo. And so it's kind of crazy that Epic 7 is a great game, and I love Epic 7. Why is Smilegate not putting forth the same type of effort and oomph and push for their game?
No, I can answer this one because so I've played a lot of Chinese-based gacha games. I played Azure Lane, I played Arc Knights, I've played multiple in the past, and the same with both of those games, right? When those games first came out, they sponsored streamers, sponsored cosplayers. They have like entire art departments. They sponsored artists. They are very insane when it comes to blowing up the marketing for their game. I mean, literally look at Arc Knights. Arc Knights has made people's entire careers with the marketing, the reach, and things along those lines. I think that Korean games and JP games that get ports just don't do that nearly as hard. It's a different corporate culture. Whereas like these games, like almost anything by Yostar except for Epic 7 in Japan is plastered absolutely everywhere, and they know that their initial budget is going to get them back absolutely everything. I mean, Arc Knights was everywhere. You couldn't throw a stone in a Discord without somebody being like, yo, Arc Knights. Have you played Arc Knights? Arc Knights. I mean, I was on the hype train for Arc Knights. So I think a lot more of these Chinese companies understand that, and they understand the returns on getting a Admiral, a Baru, the huge streamers, what was it, Soda Poppin' or whatever.
Yeah.
They understand the return on investment when they get a lot more of the normie community to come into the gacha game, because they're gonna be like, oh, I'm playing this, and then it's like, oh, here's a little bit of money, now will the hype potentially die out? It settles. I mean, Arc Knights isn't nearly as big as it used to be. Azure Lane isn't as big as it used to be, even though for some reason on my channel, like my Azure Lane content is still some of my most watched stuff, and I haven't made any in like 2 years, which is super weird to me when people comment on it.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, a lot of those companies, they just throw money at people the day that it comes out.
Yeah, and they
Oh, sorry.
I'll just add this one thing, and then I'll let you talk. They also, the Yostar, because they're JP, right? They did a collab with Wendy's. And
Dude,
Wendy's is made in the United States of America. Why do we not have Wendy's collab?
Bro,
wait, is it fast food in Asia is like it ain't as sorry. It ain't as trash tier, in North America, as in North, in Asia, it's like, somehow high, from what I remember, it's higher class, which is like what, but like, I think one biggest thing though for Genshin, the only difference is like the game itself is a lot more attractive for people to be playing.
Yeah,
I feel like to get people in, like. Even if when Epic 7 started, animations and great, everything were great. That's how I got in the game. But like, if they sponsored a huge streamer to play Epic 7 and people saw it, well, yeah, cool. Animations are nice and all, but I don't think it's as captivating as Genshin is, because Genshin is an open world, free roam, which is just. I think the concept of the game itself is they're really different categories, so it's a lot harder to compare, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I watch you and Deity, Kaz. I watch you and Deity play, and I mean, it's fun for me to watch. Personally, for me, if I were gonna play, I mean, I've played so many single player PvE mobile games that I would just go fire up Steam and play one of the like 7 billion single player games that I haven't even touched in forever. But to go back to what you were saying with the JP collab with Wendy's and XSkyking, you're right. Like in JP, their fast food is completely different a completely different world, and I love it over there. And I also think that the collab would be a lot harder in the United States because what Wendy's gets it, not every Wendy's in the United States. So like over in Japan, it's easy to collab with things like that because it's like, hey, it's these Wendy's in this one small spot. But I was super mad that I didn't get anybody to pick me up all of the merch. So in the future, any people who are watching that live in Japan, the next time there is a potential collab, hit your boy up on Discord. I will literally PayPal you money for even like a napkin. I don't care because I can't go back over there yet.
Dude,
because they won't let people in the country.
Dude, people hit me up and they're like, "Yo, I'm going to buy you this stuff," and they never did. Or like one person said, "Hey, I'm an Epic 7 streamer that's based in Japan. I'm gonna run a tournament that's giving away the merch as prize," and then they never did. So I was kind of sad about that. But yeah, I guess you are right. It's a little bit different. I saw somebody in the chat mention Raid Shadow Legends, and we all know Raid Shadow Legends advertisement is absolutely insane. I'm not
ambitious project of our time.
I'm not saying that we need to become Raid Shadow Legends. All right.
Yeah.
I got sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. But what I am saying is that I would like a little bit extra or something from the company itself to help support, like, I guess either the content creators or bring some extra traction to the game. I don't expect it to be as mainstream as Genshin Impact, but any kind of advertising and name recognition helps out, especially because there are tons of people who would love to play a game like Epic 7 that have never heard of it. There's a reason that McDonald's still advertises to this day. Why are there so many? There's the Travis Scott meal. Don't nobody want the Travis Scott meal.
Where's Danny at right now?
Dude, everybody... Advertisement is a huge part of growth. You need name recognition. Dude, when people go out to eat and they see Burger King, Wendy's, McDonald's, Five Guys, and they're like, "What should I eat?" And they're like, "Oh, the Travis Scott meal's at McDonald's right now. I saw 9 ads on it." I'm not Travis Scott hating. I'm just saying. So I saw 9 Travis Scott meal ads on Twitch. I might as well go to McDonald's because their name is stuck in my head. I'm gonna pull up in there, right? How are we gonna get them to do that over Arknights or Azur Lane or, you know, Genshin or something?
Yeah, I did notice that there were a lot more ads when around the time of the anniversary. Like, I was seeing ads on Facebook, I was seeing ads on Twitter, Reddit was giving me some ads here and there. Like, I'm pretty sure I actually got an ad for Epic 7 one time when I was swiping on Tinder, and I was like, "Bro, I'm already in a relationship with you. Left swipe. Like, get up out of here." I mean, it knows everything that's on your phone, so I get a bunch of ads for anime girl gacha games, and I'm like, "Oh, I already have this one." Left swipe. But I completely agree with you. There isn't a whole lot. It's like, I feel like, I mean, I already know this. Why are you targeting me? You know, why aren't you out here commissioning dojins or something? That's the best way to get your name out there. I'm not even.
They don't need to commission any. People doing it.
No, there's not nearly as many out there as you would think for a 2-year-old game.
True, actually. People said when JP was getting
comic books are very lacking in the E7 sphere. I mean, I'm not saying there aren't some, but we ain't no Fate Grand Order, that's for sure.
You know, the Azur Lane Discord's most active channel is the
Luge channel?
Yes, this Luge channel.
Yeah.
To this day, it's always popping.
Well, that's because Azur Lane knows their player base are degenerates.
I don't know this. I've been told. I don't know this personally. Right?
I was an Azur Lane content creator. Trust me.
Sure you don't, Kaz.
Yeah, sure, Kaz.
I mean, okay, I'll be honest about one thing though. All right, I think Epic 7 still is going strong as long as, like they talked about, you know, new IP. They're gonna collaborate with a big IP next year, whatever, right?
Guilty Gear.
I swear to God,
it's gonna be Azur Lane. Landy is the.
I swear to God, if they make good use of this, good marketing and stuff, we gonna be Gucci. Because like if we, I think Epic 7 is in its own right, like a top tier game in all these different categories. Like, let's look, you know, since Genshin has come out, it has literally destroyed like games, like communities. I feel like
I mean,
But
if
Epic
you
7
listen
is
to
still
a lot of people, yeah.
Dude, I saw Azur Lane at 8. I mean, Arc Knights at 8 viewers. Somebody
Yeah, okay, like right now, Arc Knight's 25, Epic 7 747. Yeah, we Gucci still. Well, we ain't dead, boys.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'm gonna find Kaz in the Azur Lane Discord channel, screenshot it, and then blackmail him.
I've never said anything. I've never said anything.
Worst case scenario, I'll make a dummy account and pretend I'm Kaz, just so you can screenshot.
Yo, I'll send you some vampire lewds so that you can post those.
True. All right.
But
somebody in chat's gonna be like, "Oh, those are the spiciest lewds. Kaz is in trouble."
So, that being said, so we do have 2 more sections of the podcast left. We are still on the podcast. Anybody, and do any of y'all have anything that you want to mention, or any questions you want to bring up, or something like that?
Why are the 3 stars that they release better than the 5 stars? Like, for real?
Better than Landy.
Let's not talk about that.
I don't know. They're so good.
Seriously, like, some of these 3 stars that they're putting out are absolutely insane. Like, I'm so hyped for it. I absolutely love 3 stars. Yeah.
Yeah, Ian's OP. Ian, I'm building him immediately. Strip into mischance. That's broken.
I mean, Glenn, the budget extinction. I saw that and I'm like,
I don't know if it's budget though.
He's not.
Premium.
I mean,
it's
budget
premium.
3 star. I mean, he's free.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, free
That's
to play by the way.
budget.
Oh yeah, no mole, dude. He gives himself greater attack buff.
No
I'm
more.
actually kind of scared.
I mean, friendship with Lilbet, the 3 people that used Lilbet has ended. Friendship with Glenn has begun. I mean, if you've ever been sitting there thinking like, man, really should invest in Lilbet so I can take care of those Arby's, like easy choice now, trash.
Yeah, it's
I feel like Godmother is the only one that's not even useful, and it's like a constant theme of fire units just getting shafted.
Yeah, Godmother's garbage.
I mean, it doesn't matter. Ravi got buff, so there's only one fire unit.
Ravi might be toxic. So there is one thing though. Like, do you guys see how on the notes there was a few units who, so it was like Ludwig. His penetration was not actually. Oh man, this is gonna be weird. Penetrating. Like, sorry. It was lower than intended.
Yeah, he didn't have as much penetration.
Show the problems.
It's true.
Yeah, it is.
Anyways, it's like I'm a little scared. Like, is there other units now that are like that we just don't know of? That they're not.
They're not working
like,
properly. I don't know. True, actually,
they're probably.
Like, it took me, but like it was literally like a 1A. Like I was like, what?
Yeah. I mean, the thing is that there have been units like that in the game that have gone just unfixed for a long time. I believe Blue Kisei had a problem for a while. I feel like it is an issue with units that don't get used as often, right? I mean, there's not Ludwig is not the most meta unit in the game, so I feel like when there is a potential problem like that, there's a lot of times where it'll just be kind of like, yeah, we'll fix this eventually. We'll get around to it for the like 6 people that use Ludwig. Did YD complain about it? He uses Ludwig all the time. No, okay, then we'll get there. But no, I definitely think that there are things, and sometimes they'll put in tweaks to very specific things that may have ripple effects to other units based on like how the code works. And it might take a little bit of time before that comes out. But yeah, buff Luna.
I think
I'm still waiting for my Ludwig. If I get Ludwig, I'm instantly building him.
You don't have one?
Nope.
Wait, actually, the Blingo user himself doesn't have Ludwig? That's
sadly.
weird.
Wow.
That's kind of surprising, actually.
Yeah, isn't that the dream combo? Is Ludwig with Blingo? You know what's
one
weird,
of these days, boys, I'm getting him.
Quark Quark pen is. There's something wrong with it. I think Rico Suave. I haven't seen Rico Suave.
Oh yeah.
Time.
I
He
remember
was always
talking
like
about the Quark pen for since he came out.
Yeah, it's just broken for some reason.
I gave up thinking about it. I ended up just I used him only as a counter to Basar, and now I kind of just sat him on the bench.
Yeah, it's kind of tragic. Wait. Can y'all actually not hear me? One person.
Yeah, if someone's talking, you get cut off. Like right now, I'm talking, you're getting cut off. Someone talk even more, so you get cut off even more.
Yeah, get wrecked.
Anyway, as I was saying, okay, dude. I'm very low. Am I actually low? Wait, hold on 1 second. Let me hear myself.
I know at least in my headset, sometimes it'll cut off like parts of what you say. Yeah.
Oh.
But
I hear Kaz ringing like right next to my face.
No, you are fine. Normal. Mike is mute. Okay, chat. All right, whatever. I'll turn myself up. He's fine to me. I'll turn myself up very slightly.
Imagine believing chat when they tell you stuff.
I can hear Kaz. I hear Kaz. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I think the 3 stars are really, really cool. I'm glad that they're adding I'm glad that they're adding new 3 stars. I think that it's cool. Right? I'm glad that they have useful kits except for Godmother, who's complete garbage. Okay. And Ian is really cool. I think the 3-star extinction is cool. I like more free-to-play options. Please give me more specialty changes. Balance the game more. Nerf Falcon Flurry. She's oppressive. All right.
Legit super upset that we didn't see anything about SC Doris.
Yeah, I thought we were going to see her soon.
I have wanted to see stuff about SC Doris every single day, and since they announced her, I'm like, bro, just let me know the kit. Just let me know. I've had this thing built forever. Let me know what I'm getting.
The new light unit also healer, which is a bit redundant because we're getting
because we're getting SC Doris. I don't understand why. Honestly,
I think it's just another option. So it's something that I talked about. It's like she's very good. She's a very good healer. I actually really like her kit as well, and I think it's just another option. I think that they're going to give us SC Doris is going to be more of the aggressive bruiser healer. We're going to get greater defense. Her S3 is actually going to be AoE CR push as well as 50% healing. She's also going to get about 30 to 40 speed in her tree. These are things that I asked Santa Claus for last Christmas, so it's going to be coming 100%. But I do think that while it is a little bit redundant, having more
light healers.
More options is awesome.
Well, okay, so here's my problem with her, right? When I was looking at the light healers kit, now her passive seems broken for Maid Chloe, right? Or like that skill 2 as a passive on Maid Chloe. Here's my problem. It's a skill 2, right? It's not a passive.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
What makes no sense to me is she's like a bad Ray. Because she gives immunity, but she doesn't cleanse. Okay? She cleanses. No.
Yeah.
S3 does not cleanse.
Yeah. Oh no, her S3 doesn't. Her S2 does.
Yeah. So now you'll give. It's like the Angelica problem. Have you seen that meme before, where it's like Angelica in arena with her teammates, and they're like defense broken and stunned and everything, and Angelica moves, and she's like immunity barrier. It's useless. It's useless. What are you supposed to do? It's like bad Angelica, but the S2 cleanse. So here's the question: do you cleanse? 2 debuffs, not even all debuffs. Do you cleanse or do you immunity? Right? What's a better option? You're gonna get screwed over either way. It's just uselessness. That's
just
my
use
problem.
Momo.
True. Just use Momo. Just use Ray, Momo, DJB, anybody.
Momo's ridiculously good anyways.
Momo the best, honestly. Momo beach skin when.
Always has been.
Always has been, true.
I don't know about that one there.
Really? I think the Momo beach skin would be cool. Have you seen the expressions on the Momo beach skin? It's pretty.
Same.
Why do we get Lolly Acades but not Momo? I'm just saying.
Hey,
Derp probably paid off Smilegate.
Yeah.
It chucked like millions of dollars at them, like, give me the skin, give me the skin. They're like, fine.
Derp thumbs down this video right now because you were like, why we get that Acade skin?
Go, Kaz, my only Reingar's table, and they get downvoted.
Oh, no. So, does anybody have anything else they want to add to the open discussion? If not, I'm going to field a couple questions from chat. I see one out in the open, so I might as well target it.
I'm good. Bring it.
Go for it.
Okay. Let me switch this up. Questions from chat section. Okay, somebody asked, what about Fire Ken buffs? Uselessness. Build Fire Ravi instead. All right, hey, there you go.
Hey, yo, Fire Ken is still amazing for Guild Wars.
Guild Wars in 2020. Omega
What's
Lol.
that?
Hey. Okay. I was trying to help. Okay.
I think he still has a what is it, Fury or whatever his bar is problem. The fact that his S2 does not give any fighting spirit.
Yeah, why doesn't
Yeah.
it? Because you're not supposed to use it technically.
They tried to kind of tweak that, right? Like
Kind
his
of,
S3 takes 80 now instead of 100, so like it's a little faster,
But you have to hit a lot of times to build up enough rage still in order to use the S3 is the problem. And if you use the S2 beforehand, then you can't soul burn extra turn into the thing. And I don't know, it just seems really garbage. If anybody reads ML I know it's a lot of text, but if you read him, he's garbage. I mean, not ML normal Ken.
Yeah.
If you read him, he's
I'm a
garbage.
huge fan of Ken. Mine's plus 15, but like it's really hard to like bring him anywhere aside from that thing XSkyking just said.
Yeah.
Hey, what do you mean by that thing?
That thing, yeah. All
That thing.
of the Guild War guilds have exploded. Honestly, they're all dead. They still
Speaking
never.
of dead, we died from you yesterday. All right, thank you.
Yeah, you did. Did you hit me, dude?
I did it. You were already dead.
Hey, it took 3 attacks to take me down, and my SSB was on Daydream Joker. I'm just saying. All right? Hey.
LOL.
Wait a minute. I gotta go back and find my guildmates who inted into you. gotta talk to them.
So somebody else asked, upcoming landy buffs, what would you like to see? Now, me personally, I want defense pen on the skill 3. All right, I want some defense pen, and I want some kind of self protection. Okay, any unit in the RTA meta, they need to have self protection. Give me like, or wait, hold on, this would be cool. Ignore enemy buffs on attack. That's what I want. At least for fully charged skill 3 or something like that, right? So that like enemy
So ignore
buffs.
defense buffs, ignore
Defense buffs
defense.
and shields.
I guess
And
defense
shields.
buff, right? That's it.
Ignore
Defense buff,
anti-crit.
Yeah, anti-crit,
Right.
shields, defense buff, immortality. All of
Wait,
it,
hold on.
ignore it.
Anti
that would be pretty
doesn't work in the first place. Also, ignoring immortality would be OP. Rip Kayron.
Oh, yeah,
He's already dead and she's grass anyway.
Whoa!
Okay.
Some
Skill
people still
null,
like Kayron here.
skill null as well. Okay. All right. Get an evasion buff. Do you know how insane Landy would be? Ignore buffs. Come on. What do y'all think about it? I'm sending it to
that would
Smile
be-
Gaze.
that would be insane.
That would be insane. And like,
I mean,
I don't
would-
think I.
It's super balanced.
Would it?
100%.
I mean,
For,
because
the-
she's still okay. Here's the thing, right? She still doesn't have innate protection, right? At that point, and
bring
she does her
2.
job. What's the point of a unit that is supposed to gain power from the enemy buffing if it's destroyed by all the buffs?
Yeah, but the thing is she just cycles super fast, taking you into Frenzy 27 faster, where she shines.
I think giving her like passive defense, depending on how many buffs the enemy have, would be an interesting one.
Yeah,
Yeah, damage.
I think the
reduction.
biggest thing is self-protection, though. Still,
yeah.
Do
Self
you
protection
think
is huge.
do you think she needs like a turn 1 self protection where she needs to take a turn, like Violet, or she needs a turn 0 self protection like Violet, where it's just always there?
0 would be huge, but I think 0 is OP. Like if you had a
think
0
0 is
skill,
OP.
if you had a 0 skill null, like you start on board with skill null.
Oof.
But I've never seen a unit like that. You know what I mean?
But what about? I mean, I like the idea of damage reduction based on how many buffs they have.
That's turn
If you
0.
start-
too. Like that's
that would
that's something that's
0.
always there.
Yeah, that'd be really
That
good
would
as well.
Dogs. So, like, if they come in with an FCC and 4 immunity, like, good luck doing anything to her turn 1.
Yeah. Honestly, she should have some kind of more interaction with the enemy buffs. If her whole
Right.
Mhm.
identity is anti-buffs, run with it, right?
Yeah, that way. I mean, it punishes them for buffing because I mean you're not taking her down because she would have the damage reduction.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool. Yeah.
I think
Stand
that'd probably be
back,
one of the
yes,
better ways to
two.
go
Should give both attack and defense.
on her passive.
Yeah, that's what somebody in chat said.
Make her
Like
volunteer.
Tenebria. That wouldn't be too bad.
Yeah, wouldn't be too bad. Some extra defense.
Might take a little while to ramp up, though.
Yeah.
I don't think that really provides anything to be honest. Like, it's nice, but it doesn't provide enough for her to like. It's not enough self-sustain for her. I feel like she'll probably still die.
Yeah, for me, I love Landy a lot. I love her kit. I love her design. I love what they're trying to do with it. But since they say that they do want to buff it, there are those problems of is that you need to go a long way in order to protect her, and that's one of the main issues. And then like the whole buffs thing, like, and it's kind of frustrating when chat kind of memes me and they're like, "Why are you stripping off their buffs?" I'm like, "Cause the buffs stop her from doing her job." Honestly,
Yeah,
it's kind of hard.
Yeah.
Does the robot have a name, or does
No,
anyone know?
I don't know if the robot.
I'm sipping for that Gundam. I don't care about.
Same.
care about Landy. You just want the Gundam, dude. Yeah, it'd be cool if they added some type of unique mechanic, like how they gave Cerise Restrict or something like that, or just
Like a new
something.
debuff, new buff kind of thing.
Well, yeah, I mean, in that, I was thinking like the whole like ignoring the properties of buffs to some extent. Whether you want to make a defense pen with the amount of buffs they have, damage reduction based on the amount of buffs they have, or just ignore them entirely. I think any of them would be cool. Or if you want to lock that behind the charged S3.
Here's an interesting one. What if she just gets a mirror effect on her passive whenever the enemy buffs themselves with Landy also gets automatically? Or what if she stole buffs, arresting and confiscating buffs? I like buff steal, dude. Look.
Well, but then you got to canonically that's cool. The problem is
if it's a theme.
Yeah, the problem is that like then she'd have to have effectiveness, and I don't want to fucking effectiveness on her.
Ignores effect resist natural. I'm kidding. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it'd be hard to buff her because the one thing I'm afraid of is there's a few things I'm afraid of. A, she's a limited unit. Right, real talk. She's a limited unit. 2, her banner is ending. So 3, that means if she does get buffed, people who don't have her yet are screwed.
Yeah, and they're going to get super triggered, and they're going to burn the headquarters down for an ML 5-star selector.
Yeah, is it bad though, right? Like, okay, here's my problem, right? Everybody should pull limited units, right? Like, I mean, like, you just pull. Everybody always asks whenever a limited unit comes out, should I pull or should I not? The answer is always to pull, because if something happens in the future, why would you not want to have it? Now, I know it sucks for players who are starting off later on in the game, but they wouldn't have had it regardless. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, why stop yourself from adjusting units that need adjustment just because a couple people aren't going to have them? Like, at that point, everybody needs to have every unit because they buffed ML Tywin. I don't have ML Tywin. I don't have SBR. I can't get them. There's no way for me to banner them. They won't run them again.
Just roll Covenant.
This might be like a totally different topic, but I'm just gonna put this in. I really don't like the mindset of that, unfortunately, now, because as more and more limited units come, more and more limited units are gonna have to get rerun, and up to what point do we stop? And are they really limited if they come back?
Every week,
yeah, they're not. They're not. It's so silly. I don't understand the point of the limited system in the first place. Like, it's just
I'm feeling like I have a lot of issues because, well, I mean, the first year the game came out, right? I thought, limited unit, right? We're here this year. We're the ones who are starting the game early. They're here, kind of thing. But then, eventually we're gonna start getting more and more limited units. Like, literally every month or week is gonna be like a rerun of a limited unit. Then what?
Yeah,
so
how's that going to work?
I agree with you, and that's similar to take Fate Grand Order, for example. Pretty much everything is limited in that, except for like some that you can pull from story mode. So it's very similar. You'll have banners that are only there for a limited amount of time. That unit is not in story mode itself. So one of the things that I feel like they were probably going to do, and if they were going to do a limited unit for Halloween, what they would do is go, okay, here's the new Halloween limited, but here's also this Luna banner just in case you started afterwards and you want it. It's kind of this is only here at this one special time, get it or don't get it. But because they're just kind of releasing them at different times, it is kind of interesting to see what is their plan moving forward. Are they just going to never release Luna again? At the same time, because the game is PvP focused, and I feel like sometimes the limited units, they're like, let's not necessarily make this the most OP thing in PvP because maybe we don't rerun it again. And then everybody who doesn't have Dizzy is going to be like, I can't compete because I don't have Dizzy. This is something I've actually literally brought up with them. I'm like, you got to figure that out because Dizzy's oppressive. Dizzy is meta. How do you do this if you never rerun a Guilty Gear collab again? Everybody who got Dizzy is going to have that leg up unless you literally put something else out in the future that invalidates Dizzy, which I don't think you'll ever be able to do. So you either just run a new limited, so let's like every summer you just go, here's the new summer limited, but here's also the banners for all the old ones. Does it suck for the new person that doesn't have them? Oh, you've got to roll 3 limited units if you want all of them, but at the same time you get to pick and choose, and you have the you have 2 years of people using that unit to go, here's where you should use this unit. If Dizzy's coming up or SSB's coming up, you roll this. You just roll it. And so that gives people a chance to get that, because I always hated limited units as a waifu collector myself. When I get into a game, I hate collab units. I hate limited units because that's a unit that I can never have on my account. So if I don't start day one and I don't pull everything, I will never have, I can't catch them all, right?
Well, so here's my thing, right? Is that like, in terms of like limited units and stuff like that, other gacha games do that kind of thing. And you're right, Fate Grand Order, they have the story banner up there constantly, but like if you didn't get Merlin, you're just SOL, right?
You're
like
yeah.
And what's weird is that Genshin is doing this as well, right? With Venti. People were like, oh, Venti's a limited unit on release. And then I think that we often forget that E7 is very, I guess, like generous with constantly releasing units, constantly having these banners that rotate around with their Covenant Summon. It's very different than the way that other gacha systems do. And so I want to ask this one question that this guy Burst asked. How do you guys feel about rate up banners having multiple units on it? It would fix the limited problem a bit, and like that's the whole opposite of the direction that we're going, because like we have singular unit on the banner because people complained when they were pulling for X unit with a 0.7% rate and they got everything else. What happens with limited artifacts right now? Right.
Well, and we used to have banners that had multiple rate up units on it. And I believe at one point there was like there's like a Crow something else banner.
I remember because I wanted Crow and I pulled Tenebria instead.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it's literal garbage. Like if I'm going for a unit and I know I can pity said unit, I would rather have like we have now. You got 2 banners. Do you want Ken or do you want Tenebria? You pick one, or you can get both of them. So in the future, with multiple limiteds, that's the thing. Like let's say next year a summer limited gets gets released because it's summer. We're going to get a limited. We know this now. You have the new summer limited. You have Hufine. You have SSB. Which one do you want? You want all of them? Are you an Omega Whale and you're going to pull every one of them? Are you going to go back and you're going to pull more Rengar's drinks for your third triple S SSB because you need one for multiple Wyvern?
What do y'all think about the new update to Powder Shop?
I want
weird
artifacts. One is not enough.
I hope for the beginning they're gonna release all the limited artifacts as viable, because having to wait for drink.
No, you gotta wait. You gotta wait.
It's only whatever the banner artifact is.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I'm saying they should change that so that at least the first 2 weeks when it releases, we should be able to buy all of them.
I would just wait Covenant for all of them immediately.
But then people will complain that they don't have the powder, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, people will always complain either way.
True.
I mean,
actually,
that's true.
I want Confile.
Wait, you never got it?
Another thing about limited units.
My luck sucks with limited artifacts. I don't have Wall of Order either.
I mean, personally, I think that it should be it shouldn't just be one, because I mean that still goes back to my original problem with there just being one. When Draco Plate first came out, and people were like, "You don't have to whale for Draco Plate; just get the one out of the shop." And I'm like, "Okay, but then that also takes me like 6 months worth of bottles. Every bottle costs me like five stars worth of powder." It's not a reasonable.
I disagree 100% because anybody who's been watching the Rengar's Roundtable podcast knows that I have been suggesting that it go into the powder shop like every single episode for the past couple months.
I want it in the powder shop. No,
yeah. I was fine with one. I was fine with one because it's the same price as a bottle, right? It's like
all of them. Look,
I just want to say for limited, I don't like how it forces me, because I don't like pulling banners. I don't like saving my I like pulling every week kind of thing. And limited makes me play. Yeah, like limited makes me play in a way that I don't want to. Like I want to summon every banner, but because limited exists, I have to save for limited.
Do you ever hit pity?
Yes.
If you're just pulling every week?
Are you
No, I'm pulling Covenant like I don't like saving is one thing. I always like pulling Covenant now and then.
Oh.
Wait, Mevlin,
so I know.
Are you saving for Straze, Mevlin? Serious question. But I mean, yeah.
is it the fashion designer?
Yeah.
That's the only one I'm pulling for. I'm not pulling for the other one.
That is kind of hard, right? That they do force you to kind of save because you're always scared of the next limited unit coming around the corner. Right. I feel that, right? Because I like to.
I'm probably a small portion of the community though, but like we do exist. Like there are people who don't want to save.
But Mevlin, it's okay because every limited is garbage.
That's fair.
Just skip.
Every unit is garbage.
It's all a bait for Straze, honestly.
You have Blingo. Who cares? You have the strongest unit in the game.
Is there?
I think I don't know. Like I think for limited units, maybe like adding in like I kind of like Shogun's like suggestion where like at a certain point in the year, you have all the limited banners come back for for new players. Kind of thing, maybe like at that point. I don't know how they could do it. Like.
Yeah, I wish that it was like a set schedule. Like these are the holidays or these are the events that a new limited will come out on. That way we would have a schedule. We would know, hey, you save for Halloween, you save for Christmas, you save for summer, you save for Guilty Gear rerun. And then when that hits, that SSB HUFINE new limited unit. That's how it was in Fate Grand Order, right? We knew that summer was coming back. You had the summer rerun, then you had the new summer. So you could go, oh, I didn't finish pulling all of the summer units now. I have until next year at this time to get that next summer unit. And I think that would be good. So you would have, if you were a new player, you would know, it's almost Halloween time. I better start saving those bookmarks for my Luna. And so you would have a better schedule, and I think people could plan for that better. Now, granted, I know from a company standpoint, they want that sense of urgency. They want you to be like, oh, I just spent everything that I had trying to pull for this other unit. And then they're like, Bob, limited, give me that money. But I think that if you had it that way, it would be a lot easier. It would be a lot better from a community standpoint and like a planning standpoint. Because I mean, one of the things I tried to bring up previously in other content that I made is that my mindset anyways, is that if I know something's coming, like let's say I can work overtime at work, right? I know SSB comes at this time. I can work overtime. I can work a Saturday. I can put that money aside so that I can pull SSB. If they just drop it on me, man, maybe I just bought a big ass TV. I don't have the money for SSB. I got a big old TV over here. Do I take that back to Walmart and trade this in so I can go get an SSB? No, absolutely not. But if I can plan, I know I can get my waifu.
I just want to address something that somebody inside of the chat said as well. And they were like, didn't they do that for SSB? But the thing about the SSB rerun is that it came a month earlier than anyone anticipated. So it kind of blindsided a lot of people because we were like, yeah, SSB was released at this date and we're all waiting for it. Everybody you start saving at this point. And people were calculating it. They're like, yeah, I can have enough for 121 summons at this date exactly. And then boom, it just appeared.
Bro, they didn't even give us like a heads up. They're like,
just there.
Yo, SSB, like tomorrow. And you're like, what? Wait, what do you mean you're running SSB? That's a good joke. That's a good joke, guys. This is a month early.
There's another question inside of the chat. Somebody asked, and I think this is a good question because it can bounce to a couple of different things. Somebody said, also more importantly, what's the point at new units stop being rewarding because the meta hasn't changed for a while? At what point do you stop being able to justify pulling? And I think that as long as they release new units that you feel like you can use, you pull. Right? So like for me, I thought Mui was insane. Mui amplified my playstyle a lot. I think that ML Luluca is going to be insane. Of course, I'm going to pull ML Luluca. Right? If you can add it to your roster and if you have enough, for me it's hard because if I have too many units, I forget what I have built. But like if you can remember what you have, then it's always going to be worth adding another unit to your roster because this will diversify your playstyle and what you can counter. Like nobody didn't pull ML Haste because they're like, I have too many units and this unit shuts down all revives and Arbiter Vildred. Might as well not pull, right?
Right. Not only that, but I also think that a lot of times the meta doesn't shift for a couple months until after a unit comes out. I mean, look, Careless hit the nail on the head right there. Yes, ML Crow wasn't meta changing at all. He completely agrees. The meta has been literally stale and the exact same for the last 9 months. There has not been a singular shift in the meta in the slightest. So to your point, I do think that as long as you have the gear and it fits into your playstyle, or let's say you want to expand on your playstyle, pulling new units is not necessarily a bad thing. Although I do feel like some people, they just pull and pull and pull and pull and pull, and then they go, "Why I ain't got no molas? Why don't I have gear for this unit? This unit's actually garbage because I put it in some level 71 free gear and it didn't kill everything like Cafe Kaz's Tron Cycle did."
I think the other hard thing is that like a lot of, I don't know where the questions of meta come from. Because a lot of people say, like, the meta hasn't changed. And so I'll look at the top level of play, and everybody's always doing some weird-ass shit. Honestly, that's how I met Mevlin. Mevlin was doing some weird-ass shit, and he climbed really, really hard because of it.
Asian Elf, dude.
Yeah, Asian Elf, like, they're all at the top. But, like, did anybody watch... Are we allowed to talk about this? Did anybody watch Tenha's tournament? And it was all...
I did.
Yeah.
It was all the same units over and over again.
Yeah.
It was Kia Soul.
Somebody tried to tell me that my tournament was literally the same team every single match, and it was the most boring thing ever. And I'm like, level 40 Judith.
Yeah, that came out of nowhere. As soon as somebody said that, level 40 Judith dropped. Yeah.
Yeah. I
was about to mention, guys, I think the meta only exists for the lower part of champion. I think higher end, I see so many different things, and I don't understand why people.
Do you know how many people I get into fights with daily on Facebook that try to tell me that speed cleave is literally the only meta that exists?
Shogun, I'm gonna have to take away your Facebook account, dude. It's
literally today, somebody who admittedly told me that they have not played RTA since the beginning of season 1 is very adamant that you can get to top 50 with just speed cleave. That's it. You can get top 50 in RTA with nothing but speed cleave. And I'm like, are you shuffles? Because if not, then I kind of disagree with you, but okay.
I mean, Shuffles always has like a 40-something% win rate as well. Like he loses more than he wins.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
He also plays an insane amount of games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
24/7 actually, like no cap. You can play at any time. You queue up into Shuffles unless he is actually asleep, right?
Right. Which I don't know that he does that very often because I mean, there's some times that I'm just like, man, ain't nobody playing right now. This is gonna be some easy games right here. Bam, Shuffles. I'm like,
Yeah, he's there.
he's there.
He's there.
Shuffles is permanently there.
You can't
I think
escape
also
him.
for the meta though, I think there's a lot of viable units, but there's only a small pool of units that get played constantly.
Mhm.
Like if you look at Shogun's tournament, it's actually a lot of heroes, but only like maybe 8 of them have like more than 10 uses in that entire tournament.
I mean, that's true, but that's because Falconeer Quarry is the most OP oppressive thing in the entire game.
Yeah, everyone is free to playing, dude. Everybody was free to playing, dude. 3 stars were insane.
Actually, everyone's free to play. I mean, I talked about this last time I was on your podcast too. Like, there's always just the mentality of whether or not you're a sheep, right? Whether you set the meta or you follow the meta. And the people who set the meta, they're always up there. They're changing it, and as it goes down, yeah, it'll slowly shift down, and you're like, meta's the same, or you're not gonna follow, or you can't follow the meta because you don't see some of those people play. But the high ranked players are gonna be like, oh, this is weird, and right?
Yeah, definitely. And I guess that's what's weird about it. So I always have a weird time with that question, and like when is the meta gonna shift? And I'm like, yo, dog, whenever the people down below, wherever you're playing, get the gear to build the other units and they feel comfortable enough with them in order to do that. And that's the hard part, because like with the whole like pull or pass, the whole should I build this unit kind of mentality, instead of just saying like, oh, I should build this unit because I like this unit and this is what I want to do. It's hard to get people to try other things. Now, hopefully everybody builds the new 3-star units and has fun with them, and maybe that will shift up the meta a little bit, because now everybody has a blue 3-star stripper. They have an extinction unit. Okay,
I have dogs all ready for every last one of those 3 stars, even that garbage grandma.
Godmother, no!
Every one of them, and we're going to Guild Wars, and we're gonna int and sprint. That's what we're doing. 3-star cyborg Guild Wars.
His portrait into Godmother.
Yep.
Also, I'm gonna be debuting Elfelt soon, dude. Hey, I'm gonna try it out, dude. My
Yo,
chat,
I just finished. I finished Abyss 100 today. My chat, everybody who's like watched me cleanse Abyss is like, "Hey, when are you gonna do Abyss 100?" I'm like, "Look, man. First off, stop calling me out. Second, I'm lazy. I don't want to spend 45 minutes doing this stupid Abyss level." Today I was like, you know what we're doing? We're gonna finish this with with Elfelt. We're gonna do this. I was like, I asked my Discord, I'm like, do I do this with Landy or do I do this with Elfelt? And I'm like, I already have a video about Landy. I'm gonna do this with my rage set Elfelt. It actually was ridiculously strong. Flitica Elfelt, I just completely locked that floor down. Flitica,
it's okay, actually.
I'm still at 98, dude.
You need to finish it quick. There's one more thing I want to say about the whole meta unchanging thing. Does anybody remember Bast Guy? Anybody know where he is right now?
I just fought Bast Guy yesterday. He beat me like.
Well,
are we talking about the number one player?
Yeah, the old number 1 player.
I heard about through the grapevine. He's like the original like Bast Guy's not Bast Guy now.
Oh really?
He's not Bast Guy anymore.
Oh really? That's what's going on. Okay,
that's why
he's hard stuck champion. Like hard.
That's why it's changed. That's why like he hit the top and middle. I think it was middle of like season 1 or something, or near the end of it. Yeah, that's why I heard and found out.
Oh, okay, I see.
Because
I know a couple accounts have been changing hands, which is weird.
So that means that if the S Shogun account actually gets up into legend this season, it's totally me, not a paid actor, that the account has changed hands into. Kaz, I'll need that PayPal info. Oh, we don't talk on stream. My bad.
Yeah. Hey. But yeah.
I think it's hard. Like some of these topics are hard because like the meta thing is always hard. There's so many different opinions. There's so many different things that go into the account there, and there's always a bigger population of following the meta than people setting the meta. of testing out new units, right? And
I mean, the game also doesn't incentivize you to test new units. It's like if you're not like super well, you're I think it's understandable to be a sheep.
I'm just gonna say, Mevlin, the game does incentivize you to beat people with a 2-star dog so that you can flex on them and post pictures of it on Facebook whenever somebody starts to complain to you about how the meta doesn't change.
I mean, all I'm saying is, like, I know we make fun of people being sheep, but at the same time, I completely understand. It's all resource.
Yeah,
You all have resources.
it's hard when you can't buy those $200 mold packs that are now inside of the shop. Buy them quickly. They're only going to be here for another 7 days. I don't know how long it is.
so all my money went to Genshin this next year.
Dude, true, me too, honestly. Dude, I pulled Luluca. He's crazy.
Dude, welcome to the Luluca club.
Dude, and Mona, dude, I saw the tier list.
Hey, Shogun, did you pull your Luluca yet?
No, I pulled my Mola packs.
That's true. Hey, Mola packs, baby. Dude, I pulled Mona too. Dude, did you see the tier list? And Mona's ass is literally S tier. I'm just saying. All right, hey.
Yeah,
okay.
I swear she's under it.
Anyway,
but
anyway, I think that's enough for today, guys. We had a lot of great discussion today. I had a lot of time. Thank you everybody for coming on. If you want to go ahead and say your goodbyes, feel free to. That's right, I'm tossing off to Mevlin first. Say goodbye. Hey, make a good extraduction. I don't know the word for it. Introduction. What's the reverse of introduction?
Exit.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know what to say to you. I'll just say goodbye. Goodbye, guys.
Shout out your Twitch.
Oh, my Twitch. Yeah, I got a Twitch.
What is it? Oh my god, dude! He's not a professional.
Mevlin.tv. Mevlin TV, right?
Mevlin TV.
Okay. Yeah, there you go. Check the description. It'll be in there. All right, I'll try to help you out, dude.
Damn.
How did Mevlin get affiliate?
Oh no, dude.
He already has affiliate, right?
Yeah, he has affiliate.
I got free. Yes, dude. I'm so happy.
Dude, subscribe for free with Twitch Prime. Easy game.
Pog?
Twitch Gaming? Amazon Gaming?
Hey, when people subscribe, it still says Twitch Prime, honestly.
That's true.
Hey, XSkyking, you wanna outro?
Yeah, it was fun talking with friends again as always, and then I'll also have fun shanking friends this Saturday. But on that note, yeah, appreciate you guys chat joining in on the podcast. Yeah, it means a lot having chat, watching this more, especially with Genshin. Yeah, having so many people watching a podcast, episode podcast, like that's nice, right? But yeah, you guys can find me on. You guys can find me on anything that's just xSkyking, except for Twitter. That one's xWeebKing. But yeah,
you should follow me on Twitter, XSkyking. Actually, I'm gonna follow you right now.
Honestly. Oh yeah, true.
I had to call Kaz out. I had to call Kaz out specifically because he didn't follow me back on Twitter. But I am Shotgun Shogun, the last E7 streamer, the one and only E7 streamer that still exists in its pure form. You can find me at The Real Shotgun Shogun. You can find me on YouTube at Shotgun Shogun. You can find me on Twitter at _Shotgun Shogun. You can find me on Facebook at Shotgun Shogun. You can also find me in Facebook getting absolutely molding my brains out on every single thread. You can also join my Discord and Kaz's Discord. Also make sure, speaking of Kaz, that you use your Twitch Prime and your Amazon Gaming to subscribe to Cafe Kaz for the Cafe W emotes, which in fact are
it was a mistake.
The best emotes known to man. Unfortunately, we have lost him to Genshin, but we can keep the emotes in the E7 community. So make sure that you Cafe W as well as left lick, right lick, that clean and holla W.
Oh, no,
Kaz, your exit, your outro.
All right, hey, Sky King already mentioned it, but this weekend we're going to be doing an E7 creator Among Us. You know, obviously we can only have 10 creators there. We'd love to obviously have more, but the limits of Among Us only let us have 10 people at a time, and it's not fair. I'm the greatest imposter, and by the greatest imposter, I mean I'm the worst imposter, and I'm never actually imposter. I'm always 195% correct with all of my susses, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I think it'll be something cool for the community. I've never really seen anything like it before. We've got a lot of great faces coming out, so it should be really enjoyable. As always, I've been your host, Cafe Kaz, and if you are a designer, once again, please let me know if you can help me fix this Rengar's roundtable design, because I don't know what to do and I am Photoshop illiterate. Okay.
I'll also help him fix his topics. By the way, while you're at it.
Hey, what? My topics were kind of clean. What? Oh, you mean that? With the. Okay, because I put it in WordPad. Come on, what am I supposed to do? Get a designer for every question? Okay. Anyway, I've been your host, Cafe Kaz, and just so you know, the discussion doesn't have to end here. Feel free to talk about it in the comments down below. And as always, this has been Cafe Kaz, and thanks for watching.